everyone is having a terrific Thursday morning. Living United with United Way President Carla Young is brought to us by Allison's Custom Jewelry. And in the studio with me, I have United Way President Carla Young, and that's the first time I said it, and I did it. Good morning, Carla. How are you?
Good morning, Tracy. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. Excited about my new role. Been enjoying my training time with Scott Barr, and we're in the midst of our campaign, and it is moving. It is going great. We are excited about the support we're receiving in the community and the impact it's going to have on our wonderful partner agencies, which we have one with us today. So today we have New Choices with us, and their executive director, Danielle. So Danielle, could you tell me a little bit about your organization?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. Good morning. So New Choices, we are the domestic violence shelter in Shelby County. We provide 24-hour access to emergency shelter to our crisis hotline. We have advocates who are in the court system who are advocating for victims of domestic violence in all of the criminal cases from misdemeanor level to felony level. We assist with civil protection orders, and we are also in the schools providing outreach and education, and out in the community also providing outreach and education. Just a little bit in a nutshell. We've been pretty busy.
Yes. Can you talk about the current caseload you guys are managing and what the shelter's capacity is at today? Because I know we've been around the last couple of days, and you guys are busy is maybe an understatement.
Yes, we are very busy. We have seen an upward trend over the last several months, especially of people in need of shelter. So right now we have 15 children and 10 adults in shelter. We have transformed our conference room into a bedroom to accommodate a family. And so we are literally bursting at the seams. It has been a very busy time for us, but even so, we've gotten creative as social workers do, and we will accommodate anybody who needs our help. Of course, safety is the number one priority for us, so we're not going to turn anybody away who needs us. So
we are so thankful to have you in our community and for all you do. I know we've got a break coming up. Is that right? No? Got some time. Okay. I'm new at this. So one of the things, can you talk about as the community what they can do to help support you? What kind of needs you have at the shelter?
Yeah, we are very, very thankful. We're in a community that provides us with a lot of support. So financial donations are always accepted, of course, to keep our program open and running 24 hours a day, especially as we all are living in this economy right now and everybody's feeling the strain on our grocery bills and our electric bills and our water bills. Same thing for us when we've got 25 people living in a home. Also, any sort of donation as far as hygiene items, anything that you would use at your home, laundry detergent, cleaning supplies, toilet paper, paper towels, diapers, anything like that. Food is always a great thing to donate. Personal hygiene items. A lot of our survivors come to us with nothing because they're fleeing. So for us to be able to get them set up and provide them with just the basic necessities is really important for us. And again, thankfully, we're in a community that whenever we have a need like that, it's answered for us.
That's great. Well, you just talked about when the individuals, they come to you and they have nothing. Can you talk about how you start the process to get them kind of stabilized for that next step?
Yeah, so we have an advocate who works in the shelter. Well, first and foremost, safety is the number one priority in addressing trauma. So we create a safety plan. Sometimes it includes a protection order. Sometimes it's safer not to get a protection order. So we talk about all of those options. Is it safe to stay in Shelby County, or do we need to relocate to another county or sometimes another state, depending on the level of danger? So once that is addressed and figured out, then we can work on next steps to obtaining stability on their own and having a safe life. So it can start from photo ID, birth certificate, and social security card. You know, a lot of our families that come to us don't have those. They've been stolen or damaged. So we help obtain those referrals for services such as counseling, whether it be mental health, drug and alcohol, assistance with obtaining food stamps, daycare assistance, those types, medical insurance, all the way to employment searching, and then to the point of housing and obtaining an apartment, where we have a new grant where we are able to assist our residents with first month's rent and deposit, and then we can work with them for up to a year with intensive follow-up case management. And again, the goal is to make sure that we're obtaining and maintaining safety and stability.
All right. Other than the individuals that you have at the shelter, I know in talking with you previously, you also help people who are not in the shelter. Can you talk a little bit about what that looks like, and if there's somebody who would need assistance, how they would get a hold of you?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I would say probably 80% of our clients are not in shelter. So we're working with survivors who are still in their relationship. It may take months for them to come up with a plan to safely leave an abusive relationship. So we're working with them through that process, again, creating a safety plan, trying to figure out where they can go to. Sometimes our survivors don't need shelter because they have friends or family that they can safely stay with, or they're financially able to support themselves and to move on their own. So again, we still provide all of our services and support and advocacy in those situations. But sometimes they need a little bit of extra help. So again, maybe they need clothing, maybe they need food because their abuser, who is the primary breadwinner, is in jail. And so we will have them say, I don't have any money to buy food for my kids to get through this next week, because typically he is the one that gets paid. So it's, again, providing assistance and helping them outside of shelter to be able to stay in their home as well, or even advocating with a landlord. Sometimes our survivors are threatened with evictions because of the domestic violence, because the police have been called out too many times. Or maybe our survivor isn't sure that they can afford the rent without the abuser there. So it's working on all of those aspects as well.
So can you talk about, so obviously you are a United Way partner agency. What does that support from the United Way enable you to do?
Our funding from the United Way is essential for our program. We are federally funded. We receive state funds, and then our local funding from United Way, like I said, is essential for us to stay open 24 hours a day. We have, as with all victim service agencies across the state, and here locally, Victim Services, CASA, and us, we have taken a huge hit, and by huge, I'm talking 70% of our funding over the last several years. So for United Way to be able to still financially support us, it has helped us keep our doors open 24 hours a day. Some shelters have had to close because of these funding cuts. So again, we're very, very blessed to have the support of our community and the support of the United Way. It's essential for us.
All right. I think now we're going to go to a little break.
Yes, we are. Yeah, we're going to play Matchbox 20 Bright Lights. We're going to come back more with Carla Young and Danielle from the New Choices. It's Hits 105.5. Hits 105.5. That was Matchbox 20 with Bright Lights. Good morning. Welcome to the morning show. Hope everyone is having a terrific Thursday morning. In the studio with me, I have the show is Living United with United Way President Carla Young, and we are joined with Danielle from New Choices, and we're going to continue the conversation.
Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, we're learning so many good things about what the New Choices organization is able to do for our community. Danielle, one of the things I think as individual, if I know someone who might need to use your services, or how as a individual out in the community, if you have a feeling or some approach, how can we help somebody that's going through domestic violence, or how can we get them in touch with you?
Well, the first thing and the best thing to always do is believe their story and be supportive. And then, of course, refer to us. The best way to get a hold of us is to call our hotline, which is 937-498-7261. And again, that is answered by advocates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We don't close. We are never closed on holidays. We're always there and available. So that's how you can get the ball rolling.
That's very helpful, because I think so often, if you hear it, you don't really know how maybe the best way to help someone is. In addition to your United Way funding, I know you guys usually hold an annual fundraiser. I know it's a ways away, but can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it's about time to start planning for it, actually. We have our annual fundraiser. It's typically in April. It is our comedy night, which is so much fun. We hold it out at the Palazzo, and it's a great chance for all of our supporters to get together and to share an evening of laughter. And so we have a comedian come in. The Palazzo serves a great meal, and we have our silent auction, and we have a live auction too, which Mike Lejeski, he is our auctioneer who graciously volunteers his time for us. And we typically have Hannah from Hannah's Hope too. She is one of our biggest supporters, who sells lemonade to raise money for our agency. So she's there with her stand as well, and it's just a really great opportunity for everybody to get together, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, and a great way to support an important organization in our community. So we're just so thankful for all you do for our community.
And then I had a couple questions. We're going to touch on that, Danielle. I love the fact that when they come to you, they don't know where to even start, and you even help them plan. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, it's a whole process, and for them to go through to even start, where do I begin? It's like, oh, I don't want to do it, I'm just going to stay. And so that's when you guys step in. And how do you go about that to encourage or you? And I guess that's probably not the right thing. You don't want to encourage them. They'll know when they're ready. So how do you handle that, or what do you say?
Well, just to be supportive. That's the number one thing, is for survivors to know that they have a support system, people that believe them, and people that are there to help. They've been told probably for years that nobody will believe them and they can't survive on their own. They need their abuser. But that's not true. And it is overwhelming when you're a mom with 2 or 3 children, and you have no job, you have no housing, and a lot of times no transportation. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of barriers, which we could talk about all day. That's part of the cycle of abuse and of domestic violence, is the abuser creating and maintaining control, and those are some of the tools that they use. But there are resources available, and that's what we're there to connect them with. And safety planning, it is an individual process, so every case is different, and we tell our survivors, you have lived with it, your partner better than anybody else does, what is going to be safest for you, because in a domestic violence relationship, the most dangerous time is when the victim leaves. Mm-hmm. So it is safety planning is a very individual process.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of them, they couldn't think for themselves. They did it all, and just to think about it is the thing that would be so hard for them. So thank you for everything that you do. You gave a lot of good information, Danielle. Thanks. And again, if you want to find out more about New Choices, you can go to their website. And we had so much fun. I'm coming again this year. It was so much fun. Yes, and check them out, how you can help. New Choices. Well, thank you so much. This was fun. This was Carla's first broadcast. Yay!
I made it.
You did. You did wonderful.
And as I mentioned before, we are in the midst of our annual campaign because of you. So we are, accepting donations to help impact our community and our awesome organizations like New Choices. So if you need more information, please reach out to the United Way office or go to our website. So thank you.
Yes, and I filled out my card with the Sheriff's Department, just saying.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
donating from there. So not only am I talking about it all the time, I'm also donating. Well, thank you so much. That was Living United with United Way President Carla Young, brought to us by Allison's Custom Jewelry, serving you for over 40 years. Coming up, I got our local weather and The Warrior by Scandal, because I just wanted to play that song. It's 105.5.